Hello, and welcome to the Borealis experience. I am Aurora, and I'm very happy to be sharing some time today, some space. You know from previous intros that I am a life coach, and I offer coaching sessions one-on-one. Soon I'll offer also group sessions. But today I just want to be a human being. I don't want to be seen as a podcaster. I don't want to be seen as a life coach. I just want to be seen as a human being. I struggled with myself to post an episode today because I thought, who am I to take up space when there's so many devastating things happening around us? Who am I to teach about growth and expansion and healing when there's so much destruction, hatred, and sad stuff happening? I didn't feel like showing up, not because of self-doubt, not because of not wanting to show up, but because I felt I needed to come up with a damn good reason to show up during those times and to create something that will serve you the most. I decided to talk today about admitting to yourself of where you're standing at, of where the world is at. I get so tired and irritated seeing people posting selfies and smileys and lovey-dovey things and things about expansion and growth, investing in yourself. I know I do it myself, but today I'm tired of it, and that's okay. I want to admit that humanity is at a point where there's no return. So much stuff is going on that doesn't really make sense to my brain. So much pain, so much suffering, and I'm just totally exhausted. I'm so tired. And I'm most tired of the people who are living in denial of this, who are trying to hustle through, who are trying to distract themselves and put a face on it. I'm most attracted and drawn to people who can simply admit that we are in a devastating situation. Don't you think that this is the closest to authenticity and integrity? It is okay to sit in misery at times and to not know when is the next straw of hope gonna come. When is the next person gonna come along who lifts me out of this misery? No, it is okay to be sitting in that misery. Because fighting it, there's no point. You're just gonna waste energy, and if you not go through it, it will haunt you for a long, long time, and you will burn yourself out at some point. To admit that you are lost, to admit that you are depressed, to admit that you are hurt and disappointed is so much more valuable than trying to fight it, trying to not feel these feelings, because these feelings are going to be there no matter what. So might as well address them and stop running away from them. Allowing stillness, allowing breaks, pauses is so incredibly important. And when you stop for a moment and sit there and realize what's going on, yes, it will feel uncomfortable as fuck. But that's just simply your reality at that time, our reality altogether. We're all suffering right now. Nobody can tell me that he's 100% focused on his stupid self-growth. We're all distracted. We're all hurting because we're all connected. Even though I don't watch the news, I can feel the vibe, the heaviness on my shoulders, the suffering from other people. It suffocates me at times. And then I have to sit there and realize, yes, I'm in this with you. Take a deep inhale and then exhale if it feels right. I'm also deeply irritated by people who try to intellectualize what's going on right now, and people who are trying to make sense of everything, and that's also a hustle. Trying to read up on things and studying and trying to make sense of something that is so extremely complex, that goes back to, I don't know, over 100 years ago. The conflicts that we're dealing with right now, that didn't start yesterday. They didn't start 2014. They started so long ago. And to be so ignorant and so ego-driven to think that you can make sense of it because you're watching the news or talking to people or reading up on stuff is just not the way I feel is the right way to deal with this right now. It is your ego who's longing for facts and for explanations, but it is not as easy as you make it sound. It is deeply chaotic, just like Mother Nature is. I'm really dark today, and I'm not intending to draw you into this darkness, but I want to give you permission to feel these deep, dark feelings at times, because they're part of humanity. They're part of life. You can't escape them. And if we keep putting a Mickey Mouse face to it and keep pretending that it is not good to feel these feelings, then, my friend, we are on a very difficult path of inauthenticity and not living in integrity. We have to integrate these deeply sorrowing, suffering, painful feelings. Because at some point, we will be able to transform these feelings and create something that is better for all of us. But it is only from that place of integrity and authenticity that we will be able to start and create something good, something better, change for the better. I hope you can give yourself permission to not be okay. You do not have to be okay. And all smiley face when you reach out to me, when you comment on my stuff. You can be real. You can be raw. I'll hold that space for you. It is part of growth, even though it doesn't feel like growth. But the constant pushing for expansion and growth can be so extremely abusive and counterproductive. Sometimes you gotta be still. Sometimes you gotta just sit there and breathe and be okay with the mess that is inside of you and all around you. It is when we make these statements from a place of true integrity that we can start healing and start growing again. Even though it doesn't feel like it. If you're in a partnership and tell your partner you're falling out of love, you're not feeling it anymore, You feel you guys have distanced yourself and now you can't really relate to that person anymore. Yes, it is a painful place to be in, but it is a necessary place to start anew, to start talking or to deciding that this is the end. When you admit to yourself that you're burned out, you give people the opportunity to be there for you, the opportunity to reach out to you, and they will understand why you might be distancing yourself, and they will not take it personal. When you admit that this is all too much, this is too much suffering that you're witnessing, too much pain, you feel irritated, exhausted, you can't sleep, you want to take sleeping pills and painkillers at the same time. Please don't do that, of course. But if you really feel that way, then you can start to feel okay with that situation and you will soon find a way to get out of it. But first you gotta admit where you're standing at. If you look at a map and you know you want to go to New York City, but you're not knowing where you're standing at, how are you going to find your way to New York City? My favorite city in the world, by the way. So you have to know yourself, like I preach, in and out. But you also got to be so radically honest with where you're standing at. And be real with it. Feel it. And from that place of integrity and permission, you can move forward when the time is right. And only you will know when the time is right. Don't hustle through it. Do it at your own time. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for allowing me to be real, and I hope you can do the same for yourself. Take really good care of yourself, and I will be out there very soon again. Bye-bye.